Hey there, how to make sure your business gets out of the woods. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. I actually thought about going in the woods to the back of the house today and doing this video, but we are actually having a snowstorm. We're supposed to get 10 inches of snow, maybe 3 to 6. You know how that goes. Weather forecasting isn't an exact science, right? Just like handling a pandemic isn't an exact science. We don't know what we're doing. We're in the woods figuring it all out together. And sometimes that can be scary, right? The expression out of the woods goes all the way back to at least the Roman Empire. So that means people have been nervous about being lost in the woods or being in the woods for a long, long time. Oftentimes the woods was considered a dark, possibly dangerous, mysterious place for sure, right? And when people were in the woods, they often felt a little nervous or at risk, or, you know, if you think of the Robin Hood movies, how many people got robbed when they were going through the woods on a trail, right? Or things like that. So there's always been a lot of experiences that were associated with risk and danger from being in the woods. You know, animal attacks or things. Every werewolf movie, every vampire movie, stuff goes on in the woods, right? Or they come out of the woods, out of the woodwork. Sometimes scary things come out of the woodwork, right? So that expression came to mean any kind of risky situation. You're in the woods when you're still at risk, but when you come out of the woods, you're not at risk anymore. You're over a phase of a situation, say an illness or something, or say you have an operation or an accident, and the doctor will come out and say, well, surgery went really, really well, but we're not out of the woods yet. So-and-so's still in ICU or whatever. That would be a good example. I remember, I'm sure my family heard, hey, she's not out of the woods yet. When I was in the hospital and in a coma with my sudden cardiac arrest, I didn't know. I was sleeping through the whole thing, which I guess that's the best way to do it, is sometimes we sleep through the toughest situations in our life. But our businesses right now, many of our businesses, whether your business is ramped up and running gangbusters, you might still be at risk given that there's so much change and so many expectations on your business right now. That can feel like you're in the woods as much as somebody whose business is shut down right now, and you're wondering, am I going to be able to survive this downtime and come out of the woods? And when we open up again, what's it going to look like, and how are we going to be doing business when we do open up again, given that the whole world has changed? Because if we don't think the world's changed, we need to step out on our front porches and be out of the woods and realize that in some ways we're never going back to where we were before, right? The economy will recover, our businesses will recover if we so choose, life will go on, and we'll all be great. We can be better if we want than we were when we started this, but that's up to us as well. Life will go on. This too shall pass. I love the expression, this too shall pass, because everything that ever happens to us, it never lasts forever, right? Even when we're sick, even when we have accidents, even when we have injuries, we heal, we get better, we move on, and our life might be forever changed and different. But if we look back on those events, those are the events that actually got us moving in the right direction and put us where we really needed to be versus where we were most of the time, right? Most every one of us, when we look back on what we thought was a situation that was going to be the end of us, it ended up being actually the new beginning of each and every one of us. At least that's been my experience with challenges, and I've had plenty of them. So lots of us are feeling like we're lost in the woods right now, and that's absolutely positively normal. But it's up to us to decide if we're going to stay with that feeling or if we're going to choose to do something about it. I admit, when this first happened, I was like everybody else. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Never seen anything else in my life like this. And mostly I was curious about what the heck was going to happen and kept moving forward a little bit. But like everybody else, there's that anxiety, there's that grieving our old life, there's that, oh my gosh, I mean, I can't go have lunch with my sisters, or I can't go meet my client in person, because I like to meet people in person, right? I like to know how I can help them specifically. I like to build relationships with people. So like everybody else, we've had to make those adjustments, but we're getting to the point where now we have to say, okay, got it. Nothing's going back to the way it was before. So now what am I going to do? How am I going to make sure that my business moves forward? How am I going to make sure that we get out of the woods? And we do that by finding out, asking the people. All of our people are in the same boat as we are, right? If your business is shut down, or if your business is running really at top notch right now, all of us are in a massive change phase, and that change phase is scary for everyone. So if you can help your customers solve the problems they're currently having, or going through the changes, or preparing them for what your business is going to look like. First, you got to plan, what is your business going to look like when it opens up again, or how is your business changing on the fly right now to keep up with the demand for the products and services that are urgent for those of us that are at home working, or those of us that are at home waiting to go back to work. What does that look like? And the most important thing we can do is check our mindset, make sure we're focusing on what we can do, not on what we can't, and then preparing for, even though it's uncertain and we don't know what it's going to look like, what we want our businesses and our lives to look like as we come out of this situation. That's the best we can do. So if we do that, if we actually do that and start doing a little something every day to improve our mindset and to improve our skills and our abilities and to work on our business, even though we can't work in our businesses in many instances, we will find that we will make more progress in this downtime period than we could have made in a decade of running our business as we were, because it's just kind of a massive shift and adjustment for all of us. That's it. That's all I've got to say about being out of the woods. I was going to tell you a story about when I got lost in the woods, but it's kind of embarrassing, so we'll skip it today. Maybe another day or another idiom will bring it to my mind. Have a fantastic day. Would love to know your experience with the expression out of the woods. Share in the comments below. If I can help you in any way to get through this challenging time or get out of the woods, just ask. Mostly, to get out of the woods, all we need to do is ask. Ask somebody for help. Ask a question. Be bold and brave enough to ask for help. All right. Have a great Easter, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.